The Playboy Dan Bilzerian became a pop culture icon when 5 seconds of an intense beard-stroking video of him at the World Series of Poker went viral in 2013. With over 13 million Instagram followers, the self-described venture capitalist is one of the internet's biggest stars. Here are just 10 of the most shocking Dan Bilzerian moments that actually happened. Number 10. And the Academy goes to? In between partying and poker, Dan has worked as an actor and stuntman. He once invested $1 million in Lone Survivor as a trade for a role in the movie that the producers promised would be 8 minutes of screen time and 80 words. This contract was breached and Dan only appeared in the movie with only one line. Now, Dan is suing the producers of the film for the original $1 million plus a 20% penalty. But I have my money. Number 9. He was almost a Navy SEAL. He was enlisted in the Navy for 4 years, where he spent 510 days going through grueling Navy SEAL training. But a few weeks before graduation, he got kicked out of the program after having a dispute with one of his senior officers. Number 8. He's all about the bromance. Dan once invested $2,000 in his pal and fellow poker player, Jay Farber, also known as Panda, who finished second in the 2013 WSOP main event and scored $5.1 million, of which he gave Dan $1 million and a goat in return for his $2,000 investment. Dan said that he couldn't just have one goat, so he got a second. And now, he's the proud owner of 2 goats, which he says are pretty awesome animals. Charming. Number 7. He's a race car driver, sort of. Being an avid race car enthusiast, Dan once made a mind-blowing $400,000 wager against Supreme Court litigator Tom Goldstein. Goldstein with his Ferrari 458 Italia and Dan with his 1965 Shelby 427 Cobra went head-to-head in a drag race that left everyone breathless. Dan won the race, clocking in at 10.74 seconds and a top speed of 132.88 miles per hour. Number 6. A bad boy from the beginning. You see, Dan was arrested in his senior year of high school for having a machine gun in his car on school property. Always for the love of the guns, isn't it, Danny boy? He currently owns 100 guns and has a loaded gun on display in every room of his mansion in Hollywood. Number 5. He's a cat person. Yes, Dan Bilzerian, scandalous poker-playing, money magnet, risk-taker, and gun fanatic, ironically got a cat and named it Smushball. And she's apparently the light of his life. Who would have ever thought that Dan would be a Persian cat kind of guy? But hey, Smushball is adorable. That we can't deny. Number 4. Die another day. Dan has already suffered 2 heart attacks before 30.
2.
And it's no surprise why.
Ecstasy and coke and pot and all this stuff.
After 5 days of partying, crazy sex, sleep deprivation, doing cocaine and Viagra, Dan had his first heart attack. And while in the hospital, was treated by Michael Jackson's doctor, Conrad Murray. And 12 hours later, Dan had his second heart attack. Fortunately, he pulled through, and after 2 weeks, he was back in business. Number 3. He got banned from Australia. In light of Dan's recent activities, arrests, and lawsuits, Australia was the first country to deny him a visa. Dan was invited by several casino developers to tour the country's nightclubs and to assist as a consultant in the design of a new casino. The ban was proposed by the immigration minister, and even though a backlash could be expected from young voters who want to see the pop icon in the flesh. Number 2. Porn star in flight. Dan Bilzerian once tossed a porn star, Janice Griffith, off the roof of his house and into the pool. Well, sort of, during a photo shoot for Hustler magazine, leaving her with a broken foot. In her lawsuit, Janice says she was assured the shoot would be safe, stating they should have known she didn't have the skills to pull off the stunt, based on her experiences and qualifications. In other words, porn stars can't fly, you idiots. Number 1. Miami model face-off. Dan's bad behavior made headlines when footage of him surfaced kicking a woman in the face at a nightclub in Miami. The woman, Vanessa Castano, who later filed a lawsuit, was left bleeding from her face and eyes. Dan's people denied the allegations and claimed he kicked her because he was helping another woman on stage, but Vanessa was blocking him. Not a very good reason, Danny boy. What's the craziest thing you've ever done? Let us know in the comments below, and remember to subscribe to stay up to date with more strange lists.